Hey, it's us with this, and not that. We did that 5 minutes ago.
That's you,
And he's him. That's Tyler, and I'm me. So.
we're on YouTube right now, and we're reviewing Saint Anger for the first time ever, right?
Yeah, thank you.
No. Your mom did it.
Oh.
Oh.
I'm sure she hated it too. Now this album has become synonymous with people disliking it, and you know, this whole Metallica put out the first 3 or 4 albums are good, and after this is crap, and now Saint Anger is the biggest crap load ever. And that's a popular opinion. I smell a fart. Okay. I thought you farted. You're farting all the time.
I don't fart all the time. I don't know what you're talking about.
But it's kind of become this popular bad album that people always, you know, unload their bad feelings on, and then we are going to review it. So, what did you think? You?
Me? Oh
no,
my gosh.
You. Not me. You.
Saint Anger brings back like the 9th grade memories of, like, you know, when I really got into Metallica, and then, you know, this was like the album to make fun of. This was like the Dave Mustaine to make fun of, you know. I remember with Keith, like, making fun of Dave Mustaine and Saint Anger all the time.
Yeah.
And, you know, we just listened to this album, or most of it at least, again, and it's a really comical album. You get a lot of really good laughs from it if you do that. But the reason why it's so bad is because it's just not it's not, you know, obviously what Metallica was. It's not the 80s stuff. It's not even the 90s stuff. It's just this heaping pile of shit. If you took away Metallica's career prior, and this was their first album or something or anything like that.
It wasn't even related to Metallica.
Yeah. It would still be a really, really bad album. There's a few points why, and that's the songwriting is so slow. It's so slow to do anything. You look at Frantic. You look at the Unnamed Feeling. It's so slow, and it almost really doesn't go anywhere. You look at the Unnamed Feeling. It doesn't really go anywhere. And that's probably the best song on the album, though. If I was forced to listen to a song off of this album, which that would be a terrible thing if I was, but that would probably be the song. Another reason why it sucks is the production. The production is just awful. It is really, really bad. Lars Ulrich sounds like he like took some pots and pans out of his kitchen and he's just beating the shit out of them. Like, the snare is really bad. Just take when excuse me, when Saint Anger gets really fast, just listen to the snare and just get annoyed of just, you know, just terrible sounding snare. Also, the production's really bad because the drums are really, 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 really loud, and the guitars are just kind of muddy. They're just, yeah. I mean, the songwriting sucks, the production sucks, the vocals suck. I mean, James Hetfield just sounds like Dick. There's just so many moments on here where you're just, like, shaking your head, like, why? Like, shoot me again, I ain't dead yet. Like, and that goes hand in hand with the lyrics. The lyrics are god-awful. It's like a 5th grader can probably write better lyrics than this. Fuck, there's no solos on here. Some of the riffs are just so corny. Now, granted, every once in a while there's a vocal harmony that's, you know, okay. There's a hook that's okay. You know, there's just something that's just okay, but they're just few and far between that it comes up being a whole pile of shit. And I just remember, to be honest with you, we listened to about half of this album a little bit ago, and some of the songs, it was the first time I ever listened to them. I probably only heard Frantic, The Unnamed Feeling, Some Kind of Monster, and Saint Anger, yeah. Those are probably the only songs I really listened to, and then we ended up listening to, like, Shoot Me Again. Sweet Amber, and Invisible Kid. Yeah, I mean, just even as a hardcore Metallica fan as I used to be, I still could not listen to this whole album. It's just awful. I mean, if you like it, you like it, but it's just not Metallica at all. It's just like nu metal rip-offs, really. Yeah.
Yeah, everything. I'm not gonna go with a lot on what Tyler said because he kind of hit, a lot of it. It's, production's really bad. I mean, I understand what they were trying to go for. Metallica was all about experimenting. Then they wanted to, imitate the garage rock, which I didn't even know was ever popular. Wanted to imitate that. So, they didn't really mess with the vocals or mess with anything. They, again, with the new metal thing, they went down to drop C. I know a lot of the lyrics are, I can kind of almost put up with them. I mean, I know a lot of them, a couple of them deal with, like, James's personal life, like him going to rehab and all that. I think that's what Shoot Me Again is about. It's about him going to rehab. So, but like, again, the album is just, it's comical, like Tyler said. And I mean, because it was happening to us. I mean, just like, picture a fat guy doing something for like half this album, and you will get a good laugh out of it. Picture stereotypical like that, and it's, I don't know. It's really weird how, like, when you listen to this and it sounds, a lot of it sounds like a Godsmack ripoff. It's weird. Like, and the vocal harmonies and just that, I was just like, why? Just why, please. And I don't know, I did listen to a good bit of this album before. I've heard Frantic, I've heard St. Anger, I had listened to Sweet Amber, and I had listened to Unnamed Feeling. Never heard Some Kind of Monster before today, but even though I guess that's a popular one, I just couldn't. I don't know. His album is still pretty bad.
I was gonna sum this album up in 5 words, but I don't know. After listening to the more of it, this album just sucks. It's funny to me. I did not get. The only enjoyment I got out of it was, like Keith said, laughing at certain parts, using my imagination to laugh at certain parts. And I had to use my imagination, and at least knowing these two guys and myself, we have quite the stupid imagination. So, lucky us. Or at least lucky me. Because other than that, this just sucked. Like Tyler said, the production, I mean, what production? The riffing and stuff was just kind of, I don't know. Okay. Like Tyler was saying, like I was going to make a point of, but I kind of was rethinking it. Now, try to detach this album from Metallica. You can't do it. Because this album on its own, no one would probably ever listen to it if it wasn't Metallica. If Metallica's name was not attached to it. You could say, try and view it as, I try to view albums independently from artists, just my opinion of something, and try not to take too much of, what the artist is about or anything like that. But I can't. I see this as Metallica. This is some legendary band, and I just think this is comical. Really, the riffs are, like Keith said, some Godsmack ripoffs. The progressions of the riffs are so they repeat themselves so much, and some of when they're the chord progression just sounds so bad and so laughable sometimes. Like, at least to me, I just can't take this seriously almost. And I try to take it seriously, and I think, yeah, like Keith said, there's some serious lyrics or whatever, but, I mean, save that for a good song, for more meaning of it, not some experimental album that's just kind of, it's, I don't know, I could say, alright, yeah, these guys decided to experiment and all of that, but I don't know, I can't take this album seriously. Like Tyler said, some of the songs just they didn't get to the point at all. I felt a couple of the songs, it took forever even to get the vocals started. They just kind of drug on, not a lot seemed to happen. This definitely doesn't sound like the Metallica that people know, which is a big factor of why people probably don't like it. And I don't know. I laughed at it. That's about the best that I could give it. I'd say it's an entertaining album, but you know that there's. I have sincerity behind the fact that I'm saying it's entertaining, but not in the way that they would want it to be.
It's entertaining to laugh at.
Yeah, it's a great album to laugh at. It's wonderful to make fun of. Album of the year.
If you're deaf.
Or that. It's. You could say whatever you want, this being the greatest turd of all time. That's about the best I could give it. It's not as bad as a lot of people say. A lot of people downgrade it, make fun of it. Like I said, it's synonymous with being made fun of. And a turd in a pile of gold, at least for what Metallica has done in their career. But
they had. If you watch this some kind of monster documentary, which I recommend, it's really actually entertaining. It's really cool. And two, it's really funny. Especially to see Dave Mustaine and Lars Ulrich cry in the same room. Fantastic. That's just like movie gold right there.
This is a prime example of what Metallica fans will say, that when you ask about Metallica nowadays, Lars Ulrich has lost his, yeah. It's just, I don't know. I felt like he used similar beats. Like, I wasn't feeling, even for an experimental album, I just thought, the drumming is just kind of shoddy. And a lot of the stuff just sounds off-timed. I'm not talking about, you listen to Meshuggah or something, these, off-time beats that are, make them work. I just mean guitars coming in at the wrong time, vocals not matching up, not being in sync and in tune with one another, and guitars stopping at certain times, and weird, just I don't know, drum beats, just cymbals coming in, and it's like, is that an accident? Did they leave it in there on purpose? It's, I don't know. I feel like this is like a bunch of 13-year-olds got together in their very first band ever, and this is their product.
Yeah.
And they got a 50-year-old singer that can't sing with balls anymore.
And they did have a lot going on leading up to this album. James going to rehab, themselves needing rehab.
Jason leaving.
They nearly broke up. But it's still, when you're one of the most influential and important metal bands, it's still not really an excuse, I guess. Maybe the lyrics aren't god-awful, but it's the way they are presented that are god-awful.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
What?
They're just really bad, the way they're presented, frantic. That's all you have to say. This fucking guy on his fucking Facebook.
Lime green phone.
My lime green phone.
Yeah,
Are you that bored, bro?
It's St. Agnes.
But, yeah, they're thrash metal gods or whatever, and, good for them or whatever, but I feel like, I need to go to rehab or whatever. Yeah, drinking is a serious problem or whatever, but, don't start it in the first place, and, I feel like it's all a little too played out of them being sort of dramatic and, this whole emotional thing. I guess it's emotional to them or whatever, but I feel like it's a bunch of old guys, just being old, and I don't know. I didn't explain that very well, but I don't know. I just kind of I've never been a huge Metallica fan. I've liked Metallica songs, but to me it just doesn't. I don't connect so much with oh, James went to rehab, good for him. That's about all I can say. And the rest of it is don't be so melodramatic. Actually put out a good album. do what the fans, made you to be. Do that. What fans enjoy. Don't, put this out as a side project or something or whatever. But, fans put you where you were. I mean, yeah, you put in the work, but fans are like 80% of that easily. And, just being melodramatic old ladies. And just put out a good album for darn heck's sake.
This album could have been alright. I mean, if they decided they want to go to drop C and get rid of solos, it could have been pulled off a lot better.
Yeah.
It could have actually been half decent. I'm not saying it would have been their best album. But then, throw in really awkward songwriting and vocal lines and horrible production. You just get a really, really bad album.
Yeah.
Terrible.
It's the best song.
It's terrible.
Probably have to say Saint Anger.
I'm going to have to say The Unnamed Feeling.
The least horrible song on the album was The Unnamed Feeling. What would you give this album a rating? Since this is, I guess, technically a review, what would you give this album a rating?
Honestly, I would probably give it like a 2.
For Metallica, and then just on its own, if you can try to, on
For
its
Metallica, I'd give it like a 2 out of 10. On its own, I don't know. Maybe a 3 out of 10. Like, even on its own, it's just a really awful album.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd really agree with that. I'd probably give it like even like a 1 or 2 or 10 for Metallica, and then give it like 2.5. Just it's bad.
Okay, seriously, I'll give it like a freaking 0.5 out of 10. But non-seriously, I'll give it a freaking 10 out of 10. I would recommend it to people just so they can get a laugh out of it. I mean, it's funnier than, who's funny? Who am I thinking of that's funny? Lewis Black. It's funnier than Lewis Black, this album.
You know what else is funnier than?
Bill O'Reilly getting rickrolled.
Your mom.
Same thing.
Yes.
So is this the worst album in heavy metal history?
I don't think it's heavy metal. It's a very bad album in Feces history.
You don't know if it's the worst?
I don't know if it's the worst.
What's the worst?
There's a lot of bad. I don't know. There's just a lot of bad things out there.
There is.
Okay, Temper, Super Collider, or Saint Anger?
Fuck.
Super Collider.
As the worst.
Oh, it's the worst? God damn.
I'd probably have to say this.
Yeah. Just because it's, like we've said a couple times, it's connected with Metallica, that it's just so bad. It just makes it a little bit worse.
I'm even a dude that will listen to things other than metal. I'm not just saying like, oh, for Metallica this sucks. That's the only way I can ever see it. I'm sure that's not the way all of us see it. But even as other music, it's still badly produced for any genre. The riffs are just everything's just not good for any genre. It's good at being bad.
Although one thing it did do is Metallica invented gent.
So many gent riffs in there.
Yeah.
Step over
Two-step part too.
Yeah. Seriously, take a look at it. There's some pretty genty riffs on here.
Listen to it too. While you're looking at it.
Step aside peripheral.
In the album art. Album art's so bad.
It's just bad.
It's just everything about it's fucking awful. And Bob Rock doing bass. What's the song where he has the really bad bass line that's just funny? Was it Saint Anger or Frantic?
It's Frantic.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
It's awful. We'll see you around.
Tell us what you think, I guess. If you want. I mean, it's bad, but be creative.
Tigers counts.
Yeah.